Now, when we watch debates, we find that it doesn't fix things usually. So I've thought about how can we make it so we do fix things, so people really see. And the best time to see is in a debate. And we'll have debates where debates don't really have a time limit. They can be extended. Right? That's what debates should have. You can have a rough time limit. Right? You can squeeze it in there. That's what we expect you to do. But if it goes longer, it goes longer. Right? As it's debate and it needs to be true. So the start of these debates, Evolve's leader, I would tell them that they need to start off with evidence first. So it's about coal. I want to see at the start of this debate, or show the people before it, a whole day of the debate of what they're going to debate. Right? And you can even have a quick preview of the evidence of why they need a debate. Right? So they're talking truth about certain outcomes. Right? And that will show, and then you start the debate. So everyone gets the refresh of what is true, right? And then we debate on that. What do you reckon? You reckon that's a good idea? Because we usually just have these debates, but no one really gets all the evidence of what they're debating about. We just got to believe that we know that they know what they're talking about. But what we need to do is we get the news people, and they all get a job in certain areas, and just before every debate and for every elections, and we put out the truth. We show. Right? And you can have it in the background. So in these debates, you can even go pull up current affair on rah. You've already researched it, which I'll talk about a little bit later at 5 minutes something. Right? And you'll be able to quickly do this in the debate as we do things properly. Right? And you bring it up and you go, now I want to talk about this part. This is how I fix this part. Right? And this part, and after all the end of all the problems we've seen, you've talked about what your step's going to be. The same with the next one. And then you can tell that's why you should choose me. Is my plan good? And if my plan's the same as their plan, well, it's about personality and the other things, right? But that's how debates go. Sometimes we do line up the same, right? Definitely if you're going for the same job. You expect that. But they say it'd always be different. It's why they fight a lot. But I say just be right. All right, the more you'll be the same, and then you'll still get to the right person, because you'll have other things, personality, looks, and people eventually pick. But first you've got to have a system that allows them to do it right? And to know what they're doing properly. Not be deceived. Not be deceived is to show that information. Right? Could be 5 hours worth. Right? You can make a day of it, but you can shorten all the basics. Right? Another show can show just a little refresh of the day of what that is as we lead up. The week we show the information and we show what we really need to debate on and talk about, because we only fit so much, right? We know the truth, then we see the debate. We already know the numbers, so they won't have to worry about the numbers and all these things. You can bring it up and go, that's the numbers there. All we have to hear is that they know the numbers and how they're going to fix it. It speeds up the debate too. Otherwise, you'll hear these things like you hear in question time on. A lot of what we already know. That doesn't help. And this time is important. You just waste it. That's what I say about question times. Like they're talking about things we've already talked about. Already know. We're here to know the next answer, but all we do is hear the talk and argument, and that's it. Talk and argument, and that's it. You know what I mean? But anyway, people, have a good one. And when I come back, I'm going to do the best I can. It'll be a few hour research. I'm pretty quick at things when I get into it, and I'll look at all different areas. Right? And I'll try to show, like I was talking about then, about bringing up points. I'll go through them. That could take just as long. After I come up with something, I'll double check it. Right? And the more you have it, the more you can quickly throw it together, get that point across, do the line right, the more they'll see it. Right? That's how I see it. Believe that if I see it like that, hopefully they will. Right? And if they're not, then they're not ready. You can be stuck in a little bit of like a Jesus moment. For some people, as they say, they do not know what they're doing. And children, come on. I'll see you later. I'll have to go somewhere else. What country has these debates? This one's not working. They're yelling at me. They're going, all the time, and I can't get nowhere. They said they're going to be quiet, and they're respectable leaders, and yet they keep cutting me off. Isn't that funny? They're meant to know and train not to do it, but then they do it. Child! Right? It's not once, it's a lot. Right? The last debate I seen, cut off, cut off, cut off. But there's the problem there. We need to get back to a debate about that. Let's have a debate who can sit there and talk about things without fighting. Whoever fights, he loses. Whoever cuts off loses. And they'll go, oh, sorry, no, lose. No, you're the loser, mate. You couldn't get that basic. Go back and train. You know what I mean? And have a good one, everybody.